From Silicon Slopes, I'm Christina Ayanian with Nasdaq, and joining me is Senior Vice President at Avetta, Richard Parke. Richard, thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, Christina.
Now, Avetta is a B2B SaaS company that's really focused on a number of industries. Talk to me about what Avetta does and who are some of your customers.
Well, great. I'm glad you asked that because, nestled here in the heart of Silicon Slopes is one of the largest and fastest growing businesses in the whole region, but nobody knows about it because if you don't operate in one of these industrial software areas, just kind of out of sight, out of mind. But we actually occupy a really important and unique position within the marketplace. And because of that, we have multiple customer constituencies. So first, we have our enterprise clients, which are some of the largest, most well-known multinational companies in the world. We work directly with them, but they also, what they have in common, even though they span many industries such as energy, communications, manufacturing, construction, facilities management, and all of those. The one thing that they have in common is that they rely upon a pretty important and complex network of contractors and suppliers that help them do their job on a day-to-day basis. So they will work with hundreds, sometimes thousands of small and medium-sized businesses that come on site and perform services for them. So we have our customer constituency with these clients. We also have the constituency of the small and medium businesses, which are the suppliers who perform services for them. And then we also have the workers of those suppliers. They're the people that on a day-to-day basis are going on site and doing the work. So we provide a SaaS platform that helps all of them to communicate together and work together in a way that ultimately drives safety outcomes in the workplace. So if you think about the enterprise clients and working with this vast network of suppliers, every time another company comes on site to perform services for them, they bring risk with them. And it can be very difficult for the enterprise client to be able to keep it all straight, to ensure that the suppliers they're working with are properly vetted, that they have a history of performing the work safely, that they have the right programs and processes that ensure that the outcomes will be safe, that they or the type of company that you want to do business with just from a social and responsibility standpoint, that they are able to be financially solvent and that they're doing all of the right things, they have the right insurance and all of that. So we help the clients to have the transparency and visibility into their supply chain. For the suppliers, however, they have to represent back to their hiring clients that they are the kind of business that they should be working with, that they won't represent brand or reputational risk, that they won't bring undue, unmitigated risk onto the work site. So how do they get in front of the clients and let them raise their hand and say, we're the kind of supplier you want to do business with? And then ultimately the workers themselves, that's where the rubber meets the road every day. They have to ensure that they have access to the right training, that their credentialing is up to speed, that it's current, they can get on the work site and do the job safely. So we bring all of those parties together in this platform that allows them each to derive benefit from using our service.
That's amazing. You're really that bridge and you're redefining supply chain and contractor management.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's important in this day and age because there's so many challenges that we're facing. In the supply chain industry has all of the challenges that you hear about in the news, just from the disruptions in supply chain and rising costs, but that's just in goods and services. When you think about the actual application of those goods and services, when contractors come on site to do work, the risk increases exponentially. And the customers just, as that continues to proliferate and additional risks come to play, they've got to be able to have a way to ensure that they know the risk is covered.
What are some of those challenges that your customers are presenting you with, and how does Avetta help them?
Well, great question. First and foremost, I would say whether you are a client customer, a supplier customer, or a worker customer, it's understanding what you should be tracking and paying attention to, what is relevant when it comes to ensuring that you've got a safe work history and you've got the right things in place. Add on to that things like ESG. That's a buzzword that we hear a lot in society today, somewhat of a polarizing term, but it actually is a very important thing. There was a study that was done recently by an organization called KPMG. They work in the outsourcing and procurement space, and they did research that found that the vast majority of companies now are focusing more and more on ESG. There are conversations happening in boardrooms all over the country, all over the world. But the same survey indicated that most of them don't really know what it means. They're investing budget dollars in ESG, but they don't know what to do with it. So that's one of the great challenges, helping them to understand what it means, because again, it's so polarizing that you can get lost in all of the noise very easily. But whether it's just knowing what to track to ensure that the environmental footprint is responsible, to ensuring that companies, as they work with contractors and suppliers, they're not engaging with companies that employ child labor or are involved in modern day slavery and all of those things. So the biggest challenge is really understanding how do you navigate those waters. The second challenge, I think, would be once you begin to understand what you should be looking for, tracking and reporting, how do you do it? What is the system that allows you to bring all of that together? And what our system actually does is allow the clients, in conjunction with us, in consultation with us, who bring a great deal of expertise to the table, they can define what their requirements are. What does a supplying agency need to comply with in order to come on site with risk properly mitigated and allow the client to know that they're a good, responsible partner? So we work with them to outline all of their requirements in the system. The suppliers can then come in, see exactly what their hiring clients expect, and provide validation that they meet those expectations. So now we have this very convoluted, what should we track and how, all brought together in one platform. And then finally, the other challenge is, how do you digest all of that easily? Because think of these small businesses that are providing services to large clients. They don't have excess staff to deal with bureaucracy and to work through red tape and to submit documentation. This needs to be as easy as it can possibly be for them. So having a place to do it where they can go without a lot of question, that it's an intuitive SaaS platform that allows them to get it done, taken care of, and getting back to work is very important.
That's amazing. And Avetta is at the forefront of all of those solutions. You're helping your clients mitigate risks and also enhancing sustainability.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the beauty of what we're trying to accomplish, and along with all of our corporate partners in the Avetta network, is that we're making it easier and safer for the companies, so they're averting reputational risk. They're not incurring costs, undue costs, because of accidents or fatalities or anything that happens on the work site. But ultimately, we're helping workers get home to their families safe every night, and do so in such a way that we're supporting the environment, we're helping social causes, and all of these. It's a very gratifying thing to be a part of.
That's amazing. It's really life-changing work.
It is, literally.
What has your team done to support Avetta's clients specifically in 2023?
Well, a number of things. So we just talked about the fact that it can be very difficult for our customers to understand regulatory requirements, statutory requirements, and especially because we have a very global customer base. We operate in over 100 countries. We support our customers in 25 languages with live support. So it can be difficult for multinational companies especially to understand what are the differences in one region of the world versus another region of the world, and should the requirements vary from area to area or from industry to industry. So a lot of effort has gone into ensuring that we can be that consultative partner with our clients, that we can help them understand what should you be looking for in one country versus another, and what maybe is not quite as important from a regulatory standpoint.
You really are a part of their team. It's that partnership approach.
Absolutely. The partnership approach is a great way to describe it. Then we also are working with the product. Again, I talked about it, if we have a platform that's cumbersome, it's difficult for either clients to get in and be able to visibly see the transparency of their supply chain, then it's not effective. If we have suppliers who can't get in and quickly complete the work and prove their compliance, and they're unduly taken away from the job, then that doesn't work either. So we've really been investing in making the product as intuitive as possible. We put a lot of self-help materials, and then in our customer support department particularly, we've really been leaning into the buzzword of the year, which is AI. How do you leverage artificial intelligence to ensure that you can give the best content to your customer in the most quick fashion? And that's where AI is really benefiting us. We're able to take great amounts of content that can help our customers go through the process, but they don't have to try to get a hold of a compliance specialist to do it. It can be served up to them in a very palatable and understandable way. So we're really excited about that. We've actually won several awards recently because of the progress that we're making in this area. Our product received multiple Stevie Awards in 2022 for the innovation in making it more customer friendly. Our support department received multiple Stevie Awards for our accessibility to our customers. And probably the one I'm most proud of is we were recognized by an international body for being at the forefront as an emerging leader in how you support business globally. When you do it in so many different countries, in so many different languages, it can get really tough to do that in a scalable fashion. And that's something that we focused on significantly and we're making great progress in.
That is incredible. Well, congratulations on all of your success, and we know the sky's the limit for you. Richard, thank you for joining us and sharing your story. We look forward to continue following.
Thank you, Christina. I appreciate it.
Thank you.